Good morning. Good morning. Really? Let's try it again. Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Society of Bangor. My name is Reverend Drew Moeller. I use he, him pronouns. I want to welcome everybody who is here in the sanctuary this morning and those who are present on Zoom. We are so glad to have you here. Today is a very exciting day in the life of our congregation as we welcome 5 new members into our beloved community. So we have a wonderful, wonderful service planned for you, and you'll get to meet these wonderful new people. Before we get started, I also want to let anybody know who is visiting us for the first time. Right after the announcements, we'll provide an opportunity for you to introduce yourself if you feel comfortable doing so. Just your name and maybe what brought you in this morning. That's enough. It doesn't have to be a long speech or anything, but we do like to welcome new people and also want to extend an invitation to anybody joining us in the sanctuary today to please hang out. After church, we have a Super Sunday, so we'll have soup and a lot of conversation, so we'd love to have you just kind of hang out and mingle with us. With all of that said, I'm going to invite Bill Steele to come up and offer our announcements. Bill.
Thank you, Drew. Got several announcements here today. First of all, you probably already know about this, but if you don't, you should, because it's going to be very nice. Today is the Super Sunday. Nice soup out there and other things to eat following the service. And we offer thanks to Hannah Wonderly and her team for making this happen. Also at 11:30 today, there will be Spirit of Drumming in the sanctuary. And Tuesday of this week, there will be mindfulness meditation beginning at 5:45 in the sanctuary and also on Zoom. And May 24th, after the service in the sanctuary, there will be a conversation on building usage. Finally, please stop at Justice Now table during the fellowship to pick up a pack of postcards to write. We target Maine voters on affordability issues. We provide postcards, messages to write, and addresses. You provide handwritten message and postage packs of 5 or 10. They're easy to do, and the mailing date is May 6th, so you've got plenty of time to do it. And I hope you will. My wife Ellen and I have done it, and it's kind of a hoot the way it's set up, and I think you'll enjoy doing it.
I'm going to offer one more announcement because I don't think that was communicated to Bill, but May 17th is what?
Annual meeting.
Thanks, Sue. It's our annual meeting. So that'll be a chance to vote on electing new people to council and different positions along with approving our budget. So please plan on staying after service on May 17th for our annual meeting. So now's the time, if anyone is visiting today and they feel comfortable doing so, to introduce yourself. Raise your hand and Phyllis will bring you a microphone. Any visitors? Yes. Phyllis.
Wait.
We like to use the microphone
Thank you.
so everybody can hear, especially folks on Zoom.
I'm Lydia Musselman.
Yeah.
And I used to belong to this church many, many years ago when there was a large choir. And I also met downstairs on a special night, and we did writing, and it was wonderful.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the person that was in charge of that passed away quite a while ago. I went to Florida for about 18 years, been back 3. But I wanted to tell you that I'm a very good friend, and I also have short-term memory loss, and her name just flew out of my head. But you certainly know who she is. Karen Hover, there we go, came back.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a doctor, and she's out in the West helping with the Navy.
Yep.
And I just talked to her. She called me. So I wanted you all to know that she's doing really well, and I know that she'd want me to say hi for her.
Wonderful. Yeah.
She was also gardener extraordinaire at the Y, so we miss all her gardening.
Yeah. Over here?
Good morning, everybody. We're the Collier family. This is David. I'm Bella. And this is Wesley and Jesse. We are friends of the Belkas. So we came to join you guys today.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Who are you?
We're the Bickfords, Alex, who's local, and Gail and Tom, who are from here, but we now live in Gorham, so we miss being here. Hey, Bruce, I meant to say hi earlier. And so, yeah, we're happy to be back. Gosh, we date back decades, so.
Well, welcome back. It's always good to see you. Anyone else? Okay. Let us take a moment to center ourselves as we prepare to enter into our time of worship together. As we hear these words by Margaret Weiss. Come into this place with your whole self, all the parts that are raw and exposed, the part that is beaming with joy, the part that is seeking truth, the new, the possibility. Come into this place, open your heart, lay down your burden, and lift up your hope for something new to happen. Come into this place with fellow travelers on the journey, some faces new and others familiar, and all are welcoming you here, now, in this moment, just as you are. Blessed be.
You gotta find your people, ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night. You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel whole, that won't leave your side when you lose control, the ones that don't let you lose your soul. You gotta find your people, the ones that get the joke, who understand what you're saying before a word is spoke. You gotta find your people that put the needle in the groove. When you're together, got nothing to prove. When you're together, you got nothing to lose. In a world full of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger, trying to find what you lost. You can't go it alone, everybody needs help. You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself. You gotta find your people that'll call your bluff, who'll ride along when the road is rough. You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel equal. They pick you up and won't put you down. Help you find your way in the lost and found. In a world full of strangers,
This morning, our chalice lighter will be Gail Bickford. Welcome home, Gail. May this flame cast its light toward the coming days, reminding us that the future is not simply a place we are going, but a place we are creating. A new world is waiting, friends, not to be found, but to be built. May our time together light the way.
Now going to invite you all to join in singing our opening hymn, 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. Some people are familiar with it, not everyone is, but we're going to sing this in once together in unison, and then we will sing it in a two-part round? Yes. Okay, so you have, Leanne will lead part one? Oh. Sue's number one, right, okay, great. Okay, so please rise as you're willing and able to sing. Lovely, you all sounded so good. Now is the time for our story for all ages. So young people of any age are welcome to come forward to our little rug out here for our story time. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on here this morning. I'm going to pull this out. Always helps to have a cheat sheet. Okay, we've got our pictures. Can folks over here see me pretty well? Good? All right. So this month we've been exploring how we can embrace possibilities. So with that in mind, I want to tell you a wisdom story, a folk tale that comes from the Persian tradition, which is kind of that region of Iran, Iraq, where kind of the wars and things like that are going on right now. The story is about a group of birds who traveled for a long distance. They faced a lot of challenges, but they helped each other along the way, only to discover something surprising. So the story goes that once upon a time, all the birds in the land decided to come together because they needed a leader for their community. A leader they thought would help make their community stronger. Representatives of all the different bird species came and gathered to discuss finding a leader. And we've got the delegation right here on the right-hand side. A leader will tell us the right things to do, said the robin. A leader Must be wise, said the owl. A leader must believe that we are each important, big and small, said the sparrow. I want a leader that is caring like a friend, said the dove. Yes, a leader who will help us share and get along better, said the jay. A leader must make us all feel safe, said the hawk. I know where you can find such a leader with all of these qualities, said the hoopoe bird, who's on your left-hand side with the orange feathers. It's the samorga, and it lives far away from here. The birds were all excited, and they said they were willing to go and find such a leader. It might be dangerous, said the hoopie. A few of the birds looked kind of troubled. They kind of looked at each other like, do we really want to go on a long-distance trip trying to find this leader? But they all decided to go. And so the hoopoo took off, and all the other birds followed. They flew at night. They flew in the sunshine. Yeah, we got the slide there. Thanks, Glenn. The days passed, and some of the birds got tired and left the group. Other birds were filled with a little bit of doubt. How did they know that the samorga really existed? Only the hoopoo had ever heard of such a bird. And some of the doubters had dropped off. The others kept flying. One valley was filled with fiery mountains, and all the birds were afraid. I'm too small to make it over the mountain, lamented the sparrow. No, keep flying. We can do it together. We will help you, said the other birds. And they did. The strong flyers helped the weaker flyers. The birds with good vision helped find food. Along the journey, the birds learned how to respect each other and care for each other. It seemed that every bird had some special, unique talent that made the journey just a little bit easier. Finally, the hoopoo announced, "We are here!" And the birds looked around in anticipation. Where is the samora? We don't see the samora, they cried. The hoopoo said, come over here. And the birds stood beside the hoopoo and realized that they were on the edge of a big, huge lake that was still and calm. They looked down into the lake, and what do you think they saw? They saw their own reflections in the water, and then they understood. The samorga was not another bird. The samora was all of them together. They were the samora. They remembered that each of them had something good and strong and special inside of them, and each bird had a gift to give to the community. They were all that was needed to keep the community strong. They knew now that together they could do anything. So what I like about this story is that it reminds us that each of us has a set of unique gifts and possibilities that are within us. Sometimes we are aware of them and we bring them up right away and like to share them. Sometimes those gifts are not so apparent, but other people around us will kind of maybe notice and encourage us to develop those gifts to share with everyone else. So it really does take teamwork. It really does take a bunch of us all working together, thinking about each other and caring for each other to create that beloved community, the samora bird of imagination. And you can see that red bird there is kind of the samora with the tail connecting with all the other birds. Yeah. So, I'm kind of curious from our young folks, what kind of gifts do you have? Are there any things that you particularly love to do or you like feel proud that you're good at? Anybody? Maybe good at being shy? That's a gift. Sometimes being shy is a really good gift. Anybody else? Anything that they like to say that they're good at?
I bet the children can sing.
Yeah. There's a person who's sitting over by the piano named Cassie who's really good at music. Just saying. Anyone else? There's somebody sitting back in the control booth back there with the AVS system who's really good at running that system so people can join us on Zoom. We've got people who are on committees and in leadership and who run the Super Sundays. We've got all kinds of people in our community who are really good at doing a lot of things. And that's why we get to do so many cool things in this community. So, with that, I'm going to thank everyone for all their gifts and invite our young people to head back to where they were sitting because we don't have an SC program today. So let us sing them back to their seats. Now is a time in our service where we pause for a little bit to share the joys and sorrows that make up the fabric of our lives. It's a special sacred time, a time for deep listening, and a time for deep sharing. If you have a joy or sorrow that you wish to share with our beloved community, I invite you in a moment to come forward, say your name, and share your joy or sorrow. If you're joining us on Zoom, we encourage you to type your joy or sorrow into the chat, and Phyllis will read that joy or sorrow for you. So now is the time, if you're in the sanctuary, to come forward, and we'll try to alternate between Zoom and here. And finally, I light one last candle for all the joys and sorrows that remain within the deep recesses of our hearts and those that are ever present just below the surface. May they find hope, love, connection, and may they find a nonviolent release. Dear friends, please join me in the spirit of meditation and prayer. Great universal Spirit, interconnected web of which we are a part, we gather in this beloved community to hold up the joys and sorrows that are so important and bring richness and challenge to our lives. Today we hold up the ways that people reach out and show up for each other, whether it be friends or family or parents or other people in the community, in the broader community. We also celebrate birthdays and the beauty of spring unfolding all around us. Spirit, we continue to hold those who are healing in our hearts and prayers. May they find the connection and the love and the support that they need to recover. We also hold the world in our hands, in our hearts, as we witness the struggle going on all around us that leaves us feeling this sense of dis-ease, which is in some ways war and conflict of that nature is disease. May we find nonviolent solutions, may bombs not drop, and may people be free. Spirit, we gather in this time and place because we know that each life tells an important story, and each life holds a deep and abiding truth. By coming together and sharing our stories with each other, our burdens grow lighter and our joys become magnified. May this be so. Blessed be. Amen. Our offertory this morning will be sharing the plate with a wonderful group in our community, a multi-faith group, Faith Linking in Action, that works to support people who are going through difficult times and struggle and trying to reduce and end poverty here in the greater Bangor area. Please rise. is with gratitude that we receive this morning's offertory to support Faith Linking in Action and this beloved community. Thank you for your generosity.
The reading this morning is the UUSB Covenant, which was adopted by vote in May 2019. So I'll read it nice and slow, and hopefully you will read along with me, and the words will be on the screen, okay? So we'll start here. We are a welcoming,
congregation,
inclusive, progressive community of spiritual seekers of all ages. We gather to reflect on the big questions, nourish our souls, steadfastly support each other through hard times, and joyfully celebrate life. We commit to living our principles by treating each other and the greater community with genuine, loving kindness, by listening intently, and by speaking our truth with compassion. We are guided by our commitment to the earth and all its inhabitants. Through our service, we work to transform the world into a place of unity, peace, and justice.
I'd now like to invite Lori Cartier and Kathy Elliott to come forward to help with our new member in gathering. Set that over here. Good?
I'm being chased by microphone.
Now you know what it feels like to be a celebrity, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we are very happy to welcome 5 new members into our community today. So I'm going to, we had asked each of them to write a short bio. I can hear me really well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can hear me, right? We asked each of them to write a short bio to introduce themselves. So I'm going to be reading those bios. And so to our new members, as I say your name, if you would come up and join me here, everyone will get to see which one's which. So Josephine, would you please come on up? Josephine Fernholtz writes, "My name is Josephine, and I'm originally from California. I moved to Maine from Minnesota in August to begin my master's in geology. The particular area of geology that I study is called geochronology." Who knew? Which means I count radioactive elements in rocks to figure out how old they are. To be honest, geology gives me many things that religion provides other people. It tells me where we come from, rocks, and where we're going, rocks. What it doesn't tell me is how to live my life in the meantime. It doesn't tell me how to apologize to a friend after I tell a joke that went a little too far. It doesn't tell me how to talk to a relative in the ICU. It doesn't tell me how to forgive. Over the past few months, UUSB has provided a wonderful community for me to reflect on how I want to live my life during my time on Earth. I am so grateful to all the wonderful people here for being welcoming after I moved across the country, and I'm excited to officially become a member. Welcome, Josephine. Art, would you please come up? So Art Gillen wrote, "Born, raised, and educated in New Jersey, still working as an environmental health and safety consultant for the chemical industry. In 1997, married Gigi, each of us bringing 2 teenagers under one roof. 4 teenagers.
Wow.
We now have 5 grandchildren. After the kids left for college, we left New Jersey and spent 20 years living on a small farm in Northeast Tennessee. The area continued to reject the progressive values we hold, and we finally had enough, took them 20 years, and headed up to Bangor last May to be in a more like-minded community. Still tied to Tennessee through supporting progressive candidates and serving on the board of the coalition addressing the needs of unhoused people of Greene County. Looking for fellowship, we became aware of UUSB and are now proud to be members. Art writes, "I am more friendly than I look." And I'm anxiously awaiting my first Maine spring. Come on up, Gigi. Welcome, Art. So, as you might guess, next is Gigi. Gigi Gillen writes, "Gigi is from away and happy to be in Maine for almost a year with her husband, Art. Between them, there are 4 children and 5 grands spread across the country. Gigi worked with young children for many years in her Waldorf-inspired school in New Jersey, 18 years as a volunteer with hospice patients in Tennessee, and the last 2 years there with a coalition providing services to the unhoused community. She is currently volunteering with Death with Dignity and is involved with several groups resisting the T-Rump agenda. Gigi is also a mixed media artist, and if you haven't noticed their name tags, take a look, who has taken over their entire basement to play in and store the multitude components of her art. The only class she has ever dropped was public speaking. She truly hates being in front of people." Welcome, Gigi. Jeff, come on up. Jeff Turk writes, "Jeff is choosing to join UUSB to connect with a positive community that aligns with his personal values, learn and grow in his spirituality, and discover what he truly believes. Jeff was born in Chicago, Illinois, and was raised in the surrounding suburbs. He was raised in the Baptist church, and at an early age began to ask questions like, what makes one faith superior to another? And why would God reward members of one religion with a heavenly afterlife while damning everyone else to hell? Rather than pursue college, he elected to enlist in the U.S. Air Force and served for nearly 23 years in aircraft maintenance. Post-retirement, Jeff moved to Colorado for a number of years, where he moved from airplanes to mental health and began working at an inpatient psychiatric facility. 7 years ago, family issues led Jeff to move to Maine, where he completed a graduate program in clinical mental health counseling and is now employed at a local outpatient counseling agency. Jeff is married but separated and has 2 amazing college-aged kids. He is thrilled to be joining this congregation whose members have been so welcoming since he began attending this past February." Welcome, Jeff. And last but not least, Yoshka, please come forward. Yoshka Winterling writes, "I grew up in the small town of Canaan, less than an hour from Bangor. A little more than 7 years ago, I moved to Bangor to attend college. I am excited to become a member of UUSB, where I found a community of people at all different points of their spiritual journey, but joined by a belief in the dignity of all people. During one of the first Sunday services I attended, the choir sang Linda Kaler's My Religion. This song really resonated with me and articulated many of my own feelings and spirituality. Since I started coming to UUSB at the beginning of the year, I have found such a great community of people who share not only many of my beliefs, but also many of my questions, and who are not afraid to explore those questions." Welcome, Yoshka.
I want to be where I can look at them. I don't want them behind me. Whoop.
So maybe move the mic over here so people can see you too.
Yay. Okay, is that better? Over there. Oh, I can do that.
There we go.
That's better.
All those theater
I'm talking to
classes pay
them. I don't want to say it to all of you. I'm Lori. I would forget my name tag. We welcome each of you to membership in this faith community. Our purpose is to recognize and care for one another and to explore the spiritual pathways that call us alone and together to reach out in service to the broader community. We gather freely and inclusively, welcoming and valuing our rich diversity.
We are grateful to these 5 new people joining us today as active members of our beloved community. They have spent time with us here and have found a welcoming community that is open and ready for their contributions. Dear Josephine, Art, Gigi, Jeff, and Joshka, we are thrilled to welcome you to our beloved community. We know that making a commitment such as this takes courage, and we are joyous about your decision to join UUSB. Becoming a member here is both simple and difficult. Now we tell you. By signing this book, you will claim that UUSB is your spiritual home, a place for celebration and contemplation, a place for service and searching. The members and friends of this congregation invite you to challenge and nurture us, to speak to us honestly and compassionately, to live with us with integrity, and to respond to the demands of justice with courage and faith.
Thank you for being here and being willing to sign our membership book. It takes courage to say yes, to trust a new community to take you in, to love you in your uniqueness, and to challenge you to become something more. Your gifts are a priceless addition to our religious home. Will you join in the life of this congregation by giving and receiving the gifts of the beloved community? If you agree, please respond with a yes. Excellent. We now invite you to sign our membership book. In doing so, we ask that you work together within this community and abide by our congregational bylaws, policies, and covenant, which Bill read earlier. Okay, so now, one at a time, you can come on over. There's a name on the line to sign, so you can come over and sign the book.
Do you want to do the flowers? So, I was like, those aren't flames.
I'll get out of the way.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Hug? Oh, sure. Open to hug?
Thank you so much. I sure appreciate it.
Hug?
Sure.
Hug? Let us make a joyful noise. Josephine, Art, Gigi, Jeff, and Joshka, as our newest members, I had the privilege of getting to know each of you at least a little bit. And as a congregation, we have learned a little bit more about you in your bios. We have learned that each of you brings your own talents, experiences, gifts, and passions and perspectives. Each of you brings your own reasons for joining our beloved community. We are excited that you have chosen our community this morning and welcome you and your commitment to making this community a warm and welcoming place for all. Now I want to address the congregation. Today is a beautiful day in the life of our congregation that began over 209 years ago. It's a day that affirms that our continued work in living into our ancestors' efforts of radical hospitality and service. Today, we affirm their vision of making our congregation a vital and growing place that promotes religious freedom and service to all. It is because of their efforts, our efforts, and all the people who have joined our predecessor congregations that this congregation continues to live out our dream. It is alive, and our sacred mission continues to endure. We are always excited about new members joining our community because we are renewed and our ancestors are honored by new members joining. And our legacy of being a liberal voice of religion in Bangor continues. I want to invite the congregation now to rise in body or in spirit as we formally welcome these three people into membership. And the words that we will read magically appeared on the screen. Let us read these words together. As we welcome new members, it is time for each of us to remember our own beginnings in this community. We recall the hands that helped us through the door, the people who smiled and asked our names, who listened when we told them who we were. And so we greet you as new members. We extend our hands to you. We honor your courage and welcome you aboard. Congregation, will you help these new members find joy and comfort that you have found here? Yes. Let's say that a little more enthusiastically. Yes. There we go. Will you make room for their contributions and support their spiritual growth? Yes. Lori. Maybe pull the microphone off to the side so people can see the second screen.
Can you hear me? No, it's on. Okay, now let us read together the welcome new members displayed on your screen. For those of you on your phones or Zoom, please listen intently and add your intention to the energy of the congregation. See this in unison. We welcome you into membership in the Unitarian Universalist Society of Bangor. Thank you. What happened? Am I in the way? Let me get out of the way. I want to start over. We welcome you into membership in the Unitarian Universalist Society of Bangor. Thank you for joining our community. Through your faith and your questions, you are stronger as a congregation. Through your gifts and your energy, our possibilities multiply and our tasks grow together. Through the dreams that you cherish and your hope for a better world, our days become brighter and our vision renewed. Welcome. We are glad that you are here.
So you can grab a seat now that you are full members. And I just want to thank Kathy and the membership fellowship team who have done a lot to make sure that people learn about our congregation and feel connected and are communicated with and are brought into our community. So if you're on the membership fellowship team, would you just stand up for a moment so we can appreciate you? They're here. There we go. Yay. Okay. Where am I going to?
This is the sound of one.
And, thank you, Glenn, for turning me off for the singing. Thank you, Cassie, for doing music today. You did a great job. And brought some different music to us, which is lovely. Just need to find my spot. So, as people of faith, we strive to live within the principles and values of our Unitarian Universalist movement. We strive to live to embrace our congregational covenant of living with genuine loving kindness by listening intently and speaking our truth with compassion. These are aspirational goals, and they are aspirational goals that we can embrace by being perfectly imperfect humans. They are hard to fully live into despite our best efforts and understanding. Being a part of a community that believes in the importance of the individual alongside the whole means that there are times when each of us feels a little separate. Times when we feel misunderstood, and maybe times when we misunderstand others. As our story of the universal flock of birds reminds us, even with common aspirations, the journey is long. Sometimes the journey is joyous, sometimes it is a struggle, and maybe not so joyous. But each of us has different needs and different experiences. The work of Beloved Community is to embrace that spectrum of experience and to allow ourselves to be in a place where we can hold and be held, supported everywhere along the journey. Our work as a Beloved Community is to continue doing the work that we can to create a safe and welcoming space where everyone can bring their gifts, a place that we can try out new gifts so that we can learn to develop them, and have people appreciate our efforts along the way. For it is in the sharing and supporting each other that we grow into Samora, that bird that lives, breathes, and grows and changes, yet is always true to its traveling with others together. A few moments ago, we spoke the words about what it was like to be new. What it was like to open up and taking the risk of becoming part of this community and exposing ourselves to new and different ideas from others. My challenge to you is this evening, sometime this week, or maybe in the next couple days to come, to sit with those words as you remember them and reflect on what those words mean to you. Ask how those words transform you, or how you are transforming it and the lives of others. That is what it means to live into and be part of Beloved Community, or Samora. Rumi, the great poet, Sufi poet, issues the welcome. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. He reminds us not to give in to despair, but to choose the blessing of community, because ours is no caravan of despair. So come, yet again come, and as I would add, yet again, because long as we remain true to embracing our human goodness, striving to live into our values of love and possibilities, the possibilities are limitless. So come, dear friends, come yet again, come. We need not be perfect. We just need to remain committed to learning and growing both as individuals and as a whole beloved community. With that, I'm going to call Sue to lead us in singing our closing song. Yeah, we want you to have the microphone for sure.
I want to assure you new members that the Super Sunday kitchen crew, of which I am a part, where we watch the whole service out there in the kitchen, and we welcome you with open arms. So what we're doing is, this is called the Ditty. And we only do the ditty on membership signing Sundays. It's very special. It's to the tune of This Land Is Your Land. So you'll know the tune, just follow the words. This church is your church. This church is my church. From the chiming tower to the one with the hour. From the sanctuary to our very own Dorothy. This church was made for you and me. You've asked to join us, and we embrace you. We know the process that you have been through, and now you're ready to join our family. This church was made for you and me. This church is your church. This church is my church. From the chiming tower to the one with the hour. From the sanctuary to our very own Dorothy. This church was made for you and me. Welcome, new members!
As we extinguish our Unitarian Universalist chalice flame, symbol of faith, hope, love, connection, and the joyous celebration of new people coming and renewing our call. As we reach the end of our worship, let us be reminded that although our worship is ended, our service to each other and to the world has just begun. Blessed be. Can I get an amen? Amen. I now invite you to rise and sing our benediction.